Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. ॐ मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयम् व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। We'll chant the 47th verse of the second chapter of Gita together. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि। Bhagavan Shri Krishna had indicated to Arjuna that, hey Arjuna, master your senses and mind and thereby go beyond this worry of acquiring what you don't have and preserving what you have, and through that you progress further to remain established in predominantly Sattva-guna, and through that you will be going beyond these pairs of opposites. And that is the way to go beyond the three gunas. Nistraigunyo bhava Arjuna. Now, how to go beyond these three gunas? He says that this is the way, this is the path. What is this? This Buddhi Yoga, or more popularly known as Karma Yoga. So, he says this verse after a lot of creating interest in Arjuna. Now, in this 47th verse, he spells out what this Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga is. And we saw yesterday in the second line, he says, may you never get attached to inaction, not doing anything. That is never an option. If we think that we can either do or not do, there is no such option available. Inaction should not be an attachment. I should never get used to not doing anything at all. And earlier verses also, Bhagavan has very clearly stated that now you are faced with a situation where you have to stand up for what is right. You have to stand up for dharma. And at that time, not doing anything is not an option for you. We sometimes feel it's a very difficult situation, so I opt out. There is no such option available. Something has to be done. And even if you think you are doing nothing, you actually are doing something. And maybe what you are doing and the result of that, you don't want it. Something is happening. So, Mate sangostu akarmani. Okay, so I don't not do anything. Then what I do? So whatever you do, that also, may you never do it with only the results in your mind. That is, may those actions that you perform are not prompted by selfish desires. May you not have this consideration or the single consideration of what will I get if I do this. And often we see even people who so-called do for others, they also have this consideration first. Many people ask, I have been doing so much for the society, what have I got at the end of the day? Puja Guruji points out that this question itself is faulty. Why? Because if I say I have done so much for the society, the question should be, what has the society got? What am I saying? I have done so much for the society, what have I got? That question itself is wrong. Either the first half is wrong or the second half is wrong. If you are looking for what you have got, means you have not done anything for the society. And if you are saying that you have done something for the society, the question should be, what has the society got because of my service? What has been my contribution? How I have been able to help someone. So that should be the consideration, not what I have got. So here also, karma phala is our focus. Even if it appears to be something for others, at the end of the day, I am looking at my own gain. So may these selfish gains not prompt you into action. So no laziness, no selfishness, and if selfishness is not there, automatically no crimes will be committed. We won't become criminal. Means we don't transgress the frontiers or the borders of good behavior, right behavior, righteous behavior. So I remain within the framework of right action. So Mahate Sangostu Akarmani and Ma Karma Phala Hetur Bhogu, these two are actually taking away these three things: laziness, selfishness, and crime. All three gone. And then now coming to the first line. What is he saying? Karmani eva adhikarahate. Your adhikara is only in karma. Now what is adhikara and which karma? Adhikara means not just right or authority. Because adhikara usually is translated as right. Your right is only to action. No. Adhikara also means your control is only over action. It is not just right. Your right is in something because you have control over it. If there is no control over it, there is no right. Or it is also that there is some say you have got, something that one can influence, that is only in the action. Ma phaleshu. Now the question is, what kind of action? Are there kinds of action also? Yes. And our ancestors have done all the homework and spoon fed us, so we don't have to think at all. And that is why we are not used to thinking, and we get very tired if we are asked to think. Without thinking also we get tired. Thinking of how will I think, I get exhausted. Oh, how will I think so much? So our ancestors have been very kind. They have said there are mainly two types of karma. Mainly. What are the two? One is called that which is supposed to be done, and that which I want to do. Two types. That is supposed to be done is called Kartavya Karma. And that which I want to do is called Kamya Karma, desire prompted action. So that which is desire prompted and that which is a duty. So Kartavya, and Kartavya, the word itself means it should be done. The grammatically, the meaning of the formation of the word itself means it should be done. So that which should be done, duty, kartavya, and that which I am doing it out of desire, out of want. I want to do kamya. Now this kamya karma is peculiar. I want to fulfill some desire, therefore I am doing, that Kamya Karma can transform into something that is prohibited. So a prohibited action is also one type of action, but we can count that within the Kamya also. Because prohibited action also I reach to that extent of doing something that is prohibited only because of my desire. If the desire is not there, why would I venture into that area which is prohibited? I won't go there. It isn't desire. I want this. So, but there is no legitimate means to get it. So I can use something else. So incorrect means also are used. So that also is included in that. That also. And if I am doing something wrong, knowingly or sometimes unknowingly also, I do something wrong, that wrongdoing I want to correct also. Sometimes unknowingly there are things that happen by me and not necessarily being pushed because of the desire, but I'm just, let us say I'm walking, and while walking I am crushing some ant. No, I don't even know, but it is something that I should not be doing. Our scriptures only say Drishtipudam Nyaset Padam. Every foot you place, it has to be filtered by our sight. That is what is said. That you have to put your feet, every step you take, you better watch where you are putting your feet. Not just because you may slip or you fall, but you may harm others also. So it is our responsibility. So if we are crushing something, maybe unknowingly, but it is happening. So what do I do for that? So for such actions, there are actions which are corrective measures. Corrective does not mean that action is cancelled, but I do something because I feel bad about it. I want to compensatory action, let us say. That is called Prayashchitta Karma. So this prohibited action is called Nishiddha Karma. Other is called Prayashchitta Karma. All this will come in these two categories only. The Nishiddha Karma or prohibited actions will come under desire prompted actions, Kamya Karma. And this Prayashchitta Karma or compensatory actions will come under duties, Kartavya, because I must do something, because I don't know if I have wronged somewhere. So I must do something so that even unknowingly whatever I have committed some sin, it is atoned for. So, but mainly two categories, duties and desire prompted actions. Kartavya Karma, Kamya Karma. These are the two types of actions. Now, here Bhagavan is saying, Karmani eva adhikarahate. You can have the freedom of action alone. You have any say in the field of action alone. You can act alone. You cannot influence the result. Now, which action are we talking about? Kasmin karmani eva adhikarahate. Which type of action? Now, two main types, Kartavya and Kamya. Now, what will this be? What would the karma type be? It cannot be Kamya Karma. It cannot be desire prompted. Why? Because the second line immediately says, don't work because of prompted by selfish desire. Already said, Ma karma palaheturbu. By that, Kamya Karma has been taken away. It's said that is not allowed. Don't do that. So Kamya Karma, no Kamya Karma. Okay. And there is no option of not doing anything also. So something has to be done and desire prompted actions are not to be done. So what remains? From the maxim of remainder, only Kartavya Karma remains. So Karmani eva adhikarate means you have to do only your duties. Kartavya Karmani eva adhikarate. No other adhikara. Now adhikara, if it is translated as a right, it may be misunderstood. That your right is only to act. And ma phaleshu kadachana. So not in the fruits. You don't deserve any fruits. It is not saying that way, because if we translate it adhikara as right, then it may be misunderstood. Because if I perform an action and I am told that you are not eligible for any fruit of action, that is against the very theory of karma. Because if you do something, you will get its result. So Bhagavan is not going to say something which is against the very nature of karma. So action if you're doing, you are choosing the consequence also whether you like it or not. And the best example for this, which we understand in our day-to-day lives, is something wrong I do. Knowingly, because most of 90% wrongs we do knowingly only. So something wrong I do. When I do that wrong, pratishiddha karma, nishiddha karma, that is prohibited action. When I do something wrong, I know that this is the consequence. But do I want the consequence? So I am doing it very well knowing that this is the consequence. But I also don't want the consequence, but still I am doing it. This is something very peculiar. If you don't want the result of this action, why are you doing? I don't want it, but I still want to do it. This is very ununderstandable. So there are so many choices we make, the result of which we know we don't want, but still we make such choices. But is there a freedom there? That I will do only the action, because action is pleasurable, but I don't want the result that is following it because I am scared of the result. Is there a choice given to me? Karmani eva adhikarahate. Even if it is nishiddha karma, only I should do. There is no choice given that you will not get the result of it. A thief steals. Does he want to be caught and punished? No. But does he have a choice in that? He may escape a few times, but that doesn't mean that he is not in the radar of the government. At some point he will be captured and at some point he will have to go through punishment. He doesn't have a choice there. I relinquish all the results of my stealing. I have taken sannyas. Now I have given up all the results of all my wrongdoings. No choice. You will be persecuted. If not in this world, in my journey ahead, somewhere some persecution will happen. Accounts will be settled. Why? Because that's how it works. If with my hand, I hit the wall, sometimes very angry. No, I don't know, there's nobody in front of me. And even if they are stronger than me. So I can't take out my anger on anyone. So now what do? There's a wall. I'm so frustrated. I kick that wall. Now I have kicked. I never want my foot to be fractured. I never want. But I kicked. The result I don't want. But do I get a choice? No. If I kick, the foot will be fractured. So there is no choice given. If it is not given in any undesirable result, then why Bhagavan would say that for desirable result also you will not get? So that is not what he is saying. That you work, you will not get the result of it. No. He is saying result anyway is going to come. Why are you bothering about it? Think about the action. Adhikara here means you understand that action is in your hands, result is not. Result is not. Again you are saying result is not. Means what? I will not get result. Result is not in your hands doesn't mean you will not get the results. Result is not in your hands means you cannot influence the result more than the action. Action alone is the limit of your influencing the results. Because how are the results produced? As the action is performed. So what is there in my hand? Only the action. The result, the outcome is produced by the action. So much influence only I have over the result, and that influence is only through action, not directly on the result. I don't have it directly on the result. For example, simple. We all text. So there is a virtual keypad on the screen, and there are the different letters of the alphabet written there, numbers are written, some symbols are there, and there is a window where the cursor is, where whatever I touch, that will appear. Right? Now, if I want to write Hari Om, what is there in my hands? What will appear? How can I influence what will appear? I want the Hari Om to appear. How can I make it happen? By touching the right keys in the right sequence. So first touch H, then touch A, then touch R, then touch I. Then in autocorrect it will become hair, HAIR. Then you be alert, then say no, I don't want this to be corrected. Add this word to the dictionary. Okay, thank God. So HARI, then give a space, then touch O, then touch M. Hari Om has come. Now, what comes on the screen, what gets typed on the screen, do I have the influence over it? My influence over it is only through the touching action. It is not directly on the outcome. If we understand this, this is what Bhagavan is trying to say. I cannot influence directly. I say I touched A, but then I want H to come. That will not happen. And if there is some fault in the touch screen, sometimes you touch here and something else will come. That also happens. So now that I don't have control over it. So I know that wherever I touch, something left to that will come. So then I touch towards the left only, so that I know that this is what I want. So I change my action. I cannot change the outcome. I cannot. And if I understand this, that's all it is. I don't want my phone to be discharged. Simple. So what should I do? Keep charging whenever required. I never thought it will get drained. Why did you not charge? I never want it to get drained, especially when I am using it. Of course you don't want it, I understand. But what is the influence you have over the result? Your action alone. And sometimes you have charged it, but some background activity is happening and it got discharged fast. Do you have control over it? You are not doing anything, but something is happening in the background. So what can you do to correct that? You can uninstall those apps which are creating background activity. Okay, that again comes back to action. There is no other control over the result, only through action. So that is why Bhagavan is saying result cannot be influenced except through action. Now, no, if okay, which means that I have control over the result? No. The only influence that I have over the result is through action. Yes, but what kind of influence, to what extent? Now, I may have some influence, but to what extent will depend on the result, what all factors that result depends on. For example, sowing a seed and some crop grows. Okay. Now, what if I sow the seed, will the crop grow? I would want it to grow, but have I taken care of all the other factors? Let us say I sowed the seed and after that immediately it rained heavily. The seed could not even germinate. No sunlight. Or after sowing, I tightened the soil. Sometimes we don't know how all this gardening or farming or anything. Become very enthusiastic. I say, after sowing, I tightly seal the seed. Poor thing. It doesn't have space to even germinate. So that's all. It is sitting like that only. Nothing is happening. Now, there are so many other factors. Now, this tightness of soil, of course, is something I can do. But sunlight, rains, all this, air, all this, I have no influence. There are factors which are beyond my capacity also. It is not my karma. So, there are some aspects which I can influence through karma, but there are the other factors which is not in the scope of my karma. I cannot influence that. For example, I teach some values to the children. Now the children I taught values to the children, but then, when he or she goes to school and then goes to university and all, and there I find that there are other children and they are brought up in different backgrounds and they have a negative influence on my child. What should I do? I cannot go and control the other children. What influence do I have? My child. Whatever best I can give. Then other factors I cannot control. Then based on that, the outcome also I cannot control. To some extent, yes, I have control, but beyond that, I cannot. I wanted to come for satsang and go back home safely, but now it is raining. Who can do anything? I didn't want it to rain, I know it will all become, everything is wet. No choice, sorry. Maximum, what can we do? We can have an umbrella, that's all. So again, it comes back to action. That I can have influence over the result only through my action, not anywhere beyond it. And if the result is dependent on other factors which are beyond the scope of my action, then that part of the result also I have no control over. That is what Bhagavan is trying to say. Oh, so I have no control over action, result of action. So I have only a. But the point is, if it is a duty, then why are you worried about the result at all? Why should you think about how much influence is there in the result? I don't need influence. Why? Because I'm not thinking about the result at all. If it is a duty, then why should I perform? Because it should be done. Why should a duty be performed? No, there are so many. For example, when somebody reads the scriptures and all, and then we say, no, it should be dedicated to the Lord. We should perform our duties as worship of the Lord. That's not wrong. That is right. But here Shankaracharya ji himself says that yes, it is to be offered to the Lord as worship, no doubt. But there also, there should not be any desire that through this action, Bhagavan will be pleased with me. That is also expecting a result. Oh, so you mean to say that you should not even expect Bhagavan to be pleased? Yes, you should not expect. Oh, so then what is the call? Why should we do? Because it is supposed to be done. That's all. No other reason. So there is no what will I get. There is not even what will others get. There is not even what will God do because of that thing. Then why should it be done? Duty itself means that which is supposed to be done, of which there is no special result. For example, if we are, and duty does not mean something that is assigned to me. That also we have to understand. It is something naturally that is there. If I am a human being, I have to naturally behave like this and do like this. That's all. It is not assigned to me. It is not a book where it is written that thou shalt do these things. No. It is natural. For example, I am walking by the side of a road, and then there is a child who is cycling, and while cycling, he or she falls down just near us. What is our response to this? Do we sit and think, what is my duty in this situation? The situation demands that I take 4 steps towards the child, lift the child up, dust the child, and ask the child, are you okay? I hope you did not get hurt. And then put the child on the cycle and send him away. This is my duty. Okay, let me go and execute it. Does so much processing happen? That signal doesn't even reach the brain for processing. Directly, as though the eyes have seen, and directly the message has gone to the hands and the legs run towards it, and the hands lift the child, say, are you okay? Immediately. It's a natural response. Any human being is expected to do this. Not because it is expected by someone, because this is what is supposed to be done. It's a child after all. Help. Extending a helping hand is something very natural. Even calling it duty makes it a little more artificial. We just do it, it's so natural. That is how every duty is. And doing this, extending that helping hand, am I going to be recognized for that? Such a compassionate person. We need more Samaritans like this in society. What did he do? He helped a child who was fallen on the roadside. Therefore, our community offers a gold medal to this man. May you save more and more children. Nothing. Nobody will even notice it. You are not going to get any acknowledgement also. The child is busy crying. The child may not thank you also. Because it is worried about, I don't know where I have got hurt and what my mother will say. The child's problems are different. The child is not even thanking you. That much result also is not available. But still it is to be done, therefore do it. So that is called duty, where you do it and there is no result promised for it. Nothing I will get. No, that is called duty. There was this man, he was traveling by bus, and the next stop there were many more people who got into the bus. So there was this lady who happened to be standing in the aisle next to his seat. So he was a gentleman. He got up and he offered the seat to the lady. The lady sat down and then she unzipped her bag and started looking for something. He got busy. Now this man is standing just there next to that seat only. After some time, he bent down, said, Miss, did you say something? So she said, no. Okay. Again, the bus went a little ahead. After some time, again, ma'am, did you say something? I said, no, I didn't say. Okay. Again, the bus went. Third time, after some time, did you say something? She got irritated. No, I did not say anything. Why should I say something? I said, no. I thought I heard you say thank you. So that is my expectation. At least somebody will thank me for offering my seat. That much at least I should get. No. If they thank, that is bonus. Otherwise, even that is not available as a result. Nobody is going to recognize you. That child whom you helped may not recognize you the next day. Even then, one has to help. This is called duty. It is to be done, therefore do it. Simple. Sometimes we have this expression called, this is a very thankless job. So many places we say this is a thankless job. What do you mean thankless job? It is a duty, do it. Nobody is going to come and thank. Nobody is going to recognize. No. So what is the attitude with which any duty is to be performed? The only attitude is, because it is to be done, I am doing it. And I should not do it because it is supposed to be done. Okay. Life will become so boring. Boring or interesting doesn't matter. Who is asking you? Hey, this is too, heartlessly Bhagavan is speaking. No, Bhagavan is not heartless. Bhagavan is just stating the fact that is how it is. If we understand it and are able to live according to this, we benefit. That's all. Sooner we fall in line, better it is for us. So here he is saying karmani eva adhikarahate, and that too kartavya karmani eva adhikarahate. Only duties is there for you to perform. Oh, so all the time only duties. Nothing else I can do. No, not allowed. Because anything else I do, which means what? I can't do two things at a time. No, you say, no, there is something called multitasking. Actually, it is multitasking is a myth. There is nothing called multitasking. If somebody is found to be multitasking, the ability is only to switch your mind very quickly, but it is never simultaneous. Our country has been pioneer in multitasking. Indian culture. Why? Because we have people called as Ashtavadhani. Ashtavadhani means paying attention in 8 places simultaneously. There is Dashavadhani, 10 different places. And there is Shatavadhani, 100 different places. But there also it is not simultaneous, means at the same moment. It is in quick succession. And it's very interesting. If you want to have a look, YouTube has so many videos. There are such Ashtavadhanis, Dashavadhanis, Shatavadhanis there. And it is very interesting. Half of the things we want to understand also what they are doing. Because at one point there are, like if there is a Ashtavadhani, there are 8 people sitting. And all 8 of them will give them different tests, different computations, different questions in different fields, diverse totally. So somebody is giving some mathematical problem, so somebody is doing some poetry. Somebody is asking some other question from the field of history maybe. So everybody is in diversified fields engaging with that person, and that person has to quickly go through that. So there is a quick change, switch over. That can be done. But what we understand as multitasking means simultaneously doing more than one job is not possible. It's not a capacity of the human mind. Not possible. We can pay attention only in one place. And there are so many experiments conducted. In recent times, there was a person who used to consider himself as a multitasker. A very successful businessman. This actually happened. I've seen the video. They did an experiment with his consent. They said you go to an open ground and you drive. Only 3 tasks we will give you. While driving, naturally it is included that you don't hit anything. So you have to take care that you don't hit anything. And there were those big balls. Balls were thrown here and there. He had to just maneuver, he had to just make sure that he doesn't hit. That much was there. And at that same time, he said, we will call you on your phone. You have to answer the call, you have to talk. And talk also will not be something very critical where you are asked to take any decision for your business or nothing like that. It will be casual talk. I'll ask you what is your name, what is your age, some simple questions I'll ask, don't worry. And this actually happened. He said he was very confident. Only these 3 things I can easily manage. Nothing. And initially when there was no call, he was very focused. He took care, not one ball touched anywhere came near him. And as he was going around, the call happened. And as soon as the call happened, hello, how are you? Tell me what is your name? Talk, one ball, hit. So I didn't see. But we never asked you to see anything. We were only talking to you. And we were asking your name, which you are used to replying so many times. He was almost like late 50s, almost 60-year-old. But it failed. So experiment also has been conducted to check if something called multitasking exists. So there is quick switchover is possible. And for some people, the switchover they are very good at. They can do it really fast and very efficiently. Some people, the switchover is very slow. It is generally said that women are quick in switching over. Men, they can't be multitaskers for nuts. It's possible, not possible at all. And that is why it is depicted also in our worship. That when we see Bhagwan is much more than us. So we have 2 hands, he has 4 hands. But Devi, she has 8 hands. Multitasker. But the multitasking also is not two at the same moment. It is quick succession. So here, when Bhagavan is saying you have only action to do anything, result you cannot, even if you worry about it, nothing is going to change by that. And very interestingly, we all know this, and we are all, we have seen it, we have experienced this, that there are 2 times when students go to temples, twice a year. One is before exam, and the other is before result. These are the only 2 times. One boy went to the temple immediately after exam. Straight from the paper, he went to the temple. And he went and said, "Oh Lord, please make China the capital of Russia." So somebody, that Pujari was there, said, "What a weird prayer." 2 countries, one country to be capital of another country. What logic is there? And okay, even if something like that happens, how will it benefit you? He said, "It will benefit me because that's what I have written in the paper." And I came to know it was wrong. So you please make overnight, you can do whatever. You do something and you change this. Make China the capital of Russia because that's what I have written. Ma phaleshu kadachana. Karmani eva adhikara. Whatever has been written, over. Such a thing will never happen. But even if it happens, it may happen. But you cannot influence it. Well, it's not there in your hands. So, when Bhagavan is saying duty alone, with full focus, and when we say the ma phaleshu kadachana, not result is not in my hands, I cannot directly influence the results. If I cannot directly influence the results, only action is the means to influence the result. Therefore, my mind understands that I have to pay full attention to the action in hand and not worry about the result. Because if I think I can directly influence the result, my mind will go to the result. So I have to understand that this is the only way to influence the result. So let me focus here. Whatever is there in the present. So as Puja Gurudev says, that is the way to keep the head where the hands are working. Let the minds be where the hands are working. So our mind has to be there. And when we do that, automatically positive influence will take place in the result. But if I keep worrying about the result, thinking about how to influence the result, how to change the result, that is not going to happen. In fact, that will further deteriorate the quality of my action. That is there in front of me, that I can do something. So whatever I can do, I do it. Whatever I can't do, I have to let it be. And that's wise living. So whatever I can do, let me put in my 100% in that. This I can definitely do. But the result I cannot directly influence. It is beyond my capacity, beyond my scope. So let it be. Whatever will come, will come. I have written my exams. The results will come. Sometimes we say, no, I wrote very well, but then the results were not in line with it. Possible. Maybe the examiner was not in a good mood. Maybe that is why I got something. But the point is, can you do anything about it? Can you? Yes, you can do something. What can you do? Okay, give it for re-evaluation. Yes. Again, that is an action, not the result. Action is there. You do whatever is possible. But don't sit and think, oh, how can I change the result? How can I change the outcome? Not possible. Whatever action is possible in my hand, I do that. Okay, as a follow-up action after the result has come, no, I want to further influence the action. There are some possibilities. Yes, do that also. No problem. But that also is action only. And in that action, I have to take charge of that action without worrying about the result. Re-evaluation also, I cannot say I am giving it for re-evaluation. Minimum 5% increase should be there in the marks. Only then I will give. I don't have it in my hands. I can give it. Sometimes in re-evaluation, people's marks have gone down. Oh, sorry, we missed out that these were wrong answers and we gave you marks, cut marks. So it was already better. They gave for re-evaluation thinking that they'll have better marks and they got lesser after that. That also happens. So we can't influence, but yes, action is there in my hands. So I choose. And when I choose an action, I, together with the action, choose its results also. This is also very, very important part of this understanding. I have chosen the consequence the moment I chose the action. If I have chosen to go out in the rain, I have chosen to get wet. There is no two things here. I chose to go out and walk. I never thought I will get wet. I didn't expect I will get wet. You should have expected, because that is the consequence of walking in the rain. I just wanted to walk in the rain. I didn't want to get wet. If you walk in the rain, you will get wet. Unless, yes, you have some protection, an umbrella or a raincoat or something you're wearing, that's fine. Then you have protection. Otherwise, it is, the result is going to come. We are choosing the consequence. So we have to. My eyes are burning. What happened? I watched TV all night. Why? Well, I was not sleepy, so I watched TV all night. I was watching TV. Okay. Now, I never expected my eyes will start burning. I never wanted my eyes to burn. I was just watching TV. The moment I choose to watch TV, I have chosen. So whatever I have chosen, the action, the result is also along with it. So when it is saying that Ma phaleshu kadachana does not mean you will not get the result. It means the result will definitely come to you. But you cannot influence the result directly. All you can do is act. Puja Gurudev used to say, the present alone is the time when one can act. Future is unborn and past is dead. In the past also, when the past was present, that time only I could act. Now it is over, it's gone. The future also, when it will become the present, that alone, that time only I will be able to do anything. Otherwise, I have no direct influence over my past, no influence over my future, only present. And present is action, not the result. तो कर्मणि एव अधिकारः ते, कर्तव्ये कर्मणि एव अधिकारः ते, मा फलेषु कदाचन. Never. Na kadachan. It's not that sometimes you may get no. Never. Never can one influence the result directly. And if we understand this rule of the universe, actually we kind of relax so much. Such a big burden goes off our head. Then what is the point of worrying? Anyway, result is directly I cannot influence. All I can do is act. Action, I have done my best. So then leave the rest. I cannot do anything more than that. I have tried my best, I have given my best shot. Now, whatever outcome is there, I accept it cheerfully. This threefold lifestyle is called Karma Yoga. What is this threefold lifestyle? Number one, what is to be done? Duties. How is it to be done? With the attitude that I have to do it. And also, it is said, it will come further also, that as a worship to the Lord, dedicated to some higher altar, which is not me, which is not mine, something greater. So therefore, I am not trying to grab any type of gain out of it. So it is dedicated to something greater. It could be the Lord, it could be Guru, it could be parents, it could be society, it could be country, whatever it may be. I am dedicating it to something higher, some great altar. So what to do? Duty. How to do? Dedicate it to a higher altar. And when the results come, how do we receive the results? Cheerfully. And that cheerful acceptance of result is called prasad. So Kartavya Karma, dedication to the Lord is Ishvara Arpana Buddhi and Prasada Buddhi. So this is called Karma Yoga. It is an equation. Kartavya Karma plus Ishvara Arpana Buddhi plus Prasada Buddhi is equal to Karma Yoga. Simple. So after all this hyping up, Bhagavan finally gave this doctrine of Karma Yoga, and it is nothing new or original. In the sense, of course, it is original as far as the Vedic knowledge is concerned, but it is nothing new that Bhagavan has created. It is not a new cult. And now, today onwards, Arjuna, you will be the first one to walk on this path of Karma Yoga. No one else in the past has ever done so. No. Bhagavan is saying, so many have walked. You also walk. So this is the beauty of our scriptures, our culture. It is an old time-tested thing. And people have benefited out of it. Why don't you also walk the same path? It is less trodden, but not untrodden. Path has been taken by people, fewer, but they have succeeded. So why don't you also try? So here Bhagavan has clearly said how to go beyond the three gunas. No inaction, tamoguna gone. No desire prompted action, rajoguna gone. And remain in sattva means focus completely in the present. And when we are focused in the present moment, then what happens? That moment, there is nothing called sattva-guna also. It is just me. That is Nistrayigunya Bhavarjuna. But at least, okay, that is after a long time of living a disciplined life, that may be achieved. But at least I will be able to remain in Sattva-guna. Sattva-guna means Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi means duty. Now in duty, there is no multi-pronged approach. There is no this also, that also, this also, nothing. Duty means what? This, over. No, but I want to do that. Is that your duty? No, this is my duty, and then do this only. There is no scope for that. No option. I don't want to do at all. No, that is also not an option. And sometimes not doing something is also a duty. So that also is choiceless. You should not do this. No, okay. I will not. Okay. So what happens? The mind doesn't get scattered in 10 things. It is focused. Any time of the day, any day of the year, I know what is to be done, because there is no moment when I don't have a duty. Because some way or the other, I am connected to the place, people, beings, things, and because I am connected to them, I have a role, and with the role come responsibilities. So there is no time when I don't have any responsibility. And responsibility, there is no multiple. This has to be done, do it. Over. So, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. And that is what is complete equanimity. So, what Bhagavan promised, he has delivered. But just this verse, Bhagavan feels that just this much may not be sufficient. Little more elaboration is required. Although he is going to elaborate in the entire third chapter, is this elaboration of this verse only. But here also, little bit, he is elaborating that whatever I told you, Arjuna, this only will lead you to that. But I will tell you. When will you tell me, Bhagavan? On Monday. गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, गोविंद राधा रमण हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोपाल बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण 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 हरि गोपाल बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, गोविंद राधा रमण हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोपाल बोलो, गोपाल बोलो, गोविंद बोलो, गोपाल बोलो, बोलिए राधावर श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।